Over half a century of self-government, over 10 years of independence. Isn't it time to reflect for a few moments, to count our blessings? We Rhodesians are a pretty mixed bunch, but we have a lot in common with each other, especially during the show season, the countrywide event that attracts a complete cross-section of Rhodesians. It's the great event of the year. Common interests bring us together. No matter how small or scattered a community, it'll form itself into some social group or other. Our show season is a reminder that with the odds against us, we face the challenges and overcome them together, achieving a quality of life many other countries envy. Go from one end of the country to the other, and we see our towns and cities ticking along in their own individual way at their own chosen pace. Our way of life hardly seems to change, but change it does. There's always something new. One thing follows another. And almost imperceptibly, life becomes richer and fuller. Of course, progress brings along the occasional problem. Pollution was one of them, but we nipped it in the bud. We've made sure we can go on breathing pure air. We've always been conservation conscious. We're well endowed with natural resources. We have a healthy respect for them and exploit them wisely. We're not beyond giving nature a hand and adding a few resources ourselves. We believe in enjoying everything we have. We try not to spoil things, and most of nature's works remain changeless, timeless. country our size, we have more national parks, reserves and sanctuaries dotted over the land than any other country in Africa. So many, in fact, that Rhodesia is practically one vast national park in itself. It's still by no means unusual to find wildlife on the fringes of our towns, some even grazing near our doorsteps. But to study and enjoy our wildlife properly, we make for the reserves which give us constant pleasure and inspiration. Maybe nature herself inspired that greatest of all Rhodesian traditions, the sundowner. Our youth have learned, like their parents, to adapt to the peculiar circumstances of today. Their inventiveness and ingenuity are of the caliber that built Rhodesia. Our young scientists are always coming up with something new and winning international recognition. Rhodesians seem to develop the sociable habit at an early age. If anyone can get together and do things, it's the youngsters. What with their sports, clubs, associations and organizations offering so many activities to bring out the best in them, they develop their talents and skills to the full. Many of the activities are part-time. Others are part of the school curriculum. It's never too early for young Rhodesians to get to grips with the ecology. School camps in the wild spell it out in simple terms, right on the spot. Our educational system's second to none. Perhaps unique in this day and age, there's still good old-fashioned discipline and student-teacher relationship. Our youngsters lead a pretty full life. Rhodesia, after all, is very much a children's world. Of course, it's an adult world too. We also lead a pretty full life. Take our workaday world, it's quite a busy scene. In the industrial field, our factories are turning out 4 times more than they did 10 years ago. Without any great fanfare, industry's expanding all the time, and our mining output has trebled, with new mines opening up all over the country. We live in industrial peace, with just an occasional strike here and there. In our broad Rhodesian workaday world, whatever our standing, we're all interdependent. Visitors sometimes say our methods are unhurried, even leisurely. Maybe so, but the rat race is foreign to our way of life. We like it that way. We've got some of the nicest nurses in the world. Efficient too. No wonder we've also got one of the best health services. In medical research, way ahead in the fight against malaria and bilharzia. Here and there we have our shortages. What country hasn't these days? But some are seasonal, and there's not much we can do about that. Even so, in 2 recent rainy seasons, nature flooded us with generosity. She filled our dams and gave us bumper crops. Once in a while, when we want to get away from it all, and everyone else, there's a freedom and spaciousness that lets us spread out as far and as wide as we wish, depending on the mood. But of course, we don't like to be away from it all, and everyone else, for too long. There's plenty to do nearer home. Yes, we Rhodesians are a mixed bunch, all right. and we understand each other. Nowhere so well as up in the operational area. And while we're reflecting on our blessings, let's remember a very important blessing, the spirit of everyone up at the sharp end. Army, Air Force, police, civilians, they add up to the most efficient striking force against terrorism in the world. Wherever we may be, whatever our calling, whatever our contribution, we who call this land our home have one great blessing in common: Rhodesia.